Welcome to Driftless Ventures. I am Ken Gear, bringing you my adventures from the driftless area of south central Wisconsin. And it is that time of year, guys. It is July 11th today. It's scouting season is in full swing. You know, those bucks are starting to grow nice antlers. You can get an idea of the size of them. But my grandson and I, we are out today. We're pulling cards in my shotgun cams. We're going to see the first round of what's coming into those shotgun cams, you know, and hopefully find that buck we're looking for. But in the process of scouting, I wanted to take a minute to go over oak trees and how important that is to your scouting in your area. Here in the driftless area that we're at, there are two major oak trees. There's going to be the red oak tree, like you see here, which has dark chocolate bark with real deep grooves in it. And then there's a white oak tree, which is a lighter white color with not as deep a grooves in the bark. Oak trees, the red oak trees are distinguishable by their leaves, have pointed nodules on the leaves, where the white oaks, the nodules on the end of those leaves are rounded. So you can kind of tell by the leaves as to what tree they are as well. The oak trees, the white oak, you have, of course, the white oak, the bur oak, and the swamp white oak. In the red oak trees, we have, of course, the northern red oak, the pin oak, and the black oak. And if you guys are out scouting, one thing you're going to want to pay attention to is oak trees, like this white oak tree here. Oak trees, the white oak trees are the trees, the acorns the deer prefer first, and they drop their acorns first. They have less tannin in them. Tannin is it's a bitter chemical that helps protect them. The white oak does not have as much, so the deer prefer it. As you can see, this white oak, the bark is kind of a whiter color, real small, tight-grained bark. An oak tree like this, I would say, is probably well over 100 years old, 150 maybe. This old of a tree is not the biggest producer of acorns in the woods. The biggest producer of acorns in the oak trees are the ones about 60 to 80 years old. This guy still produces plenty of acorns, but not as many as a younger tree would. But acorns, like I said, this guy is going to start dropping acorns about the end of August. When that happens, the white-tailed deer are more likely going to change their feeding patterns to come after the acorns. tree basically is an ecosystem of itself within the ecosystem of the forest. An oak tree like this is known to harbor over 2,300 separate species of caterpillars, butterflies, insects, fungi. The list goes on and on. You know, the hairy caterpillars or the furry caterpillars that we're just seeing a few of them here. My grandson Ben pointed out. They are currently right now in the canopy of these red oaks, and there are multiple songbirds that time their migration and nesting on those caterpillars. The black-capped chickadee that forages in the canopy of the red oaks is after those hairy caterpillars. It's estimated that those chickadees, parrot chickadees, need 6,000 to 9,000 hairy caterpillars to raise a brood of young chickadees. It's almost incredible as far as the insects, the spiders, the birds, obviously the squirrels, deer. Like I said, there's 2,300 separate species of animals, insects, spiders, caterpillars, fungi that make up this whole ecosystem of this tree, and just how much of a pillar this oak tree is to our forests here in the driftless area. Even the root system within the tree has a special fungi that relies on the root of the oak tree to survive, and in turn the oak tree gathers nutrients that fungi can draw from the soil. When you're out scouting for deer, always pay attention to the oak trees. Oak trees, about every 3 to 4 years, go through what they call a masting. What masting is that it's a year, in a certain year, all the trees seem to synchronize all at the same time, and they will produce a bumper crop of acorns. It means every acorn they can possibly produce, every tree produces a bumper crop of acorns called masting. And it's a process the oak trees go through to basically overwhelm the acorn eaters and everybody who eats the acorns. They produce so many acorns that, not all of them can get eaten, and there's more of a chance for them to germinate and grow. It's basically a survival process. Acorns are the single most important food source for deer in the fall. It makes up 50% of their diet when those acorns are available. Acorns have a high caloric density, which is twice of what field corn is. Very high in carbohydrates and monosaturated fats. They're packed with complex starches and sugars. It helps the deer to put on a fat layer to get ready for, the mating season or the upcoming winter. Acorns have a higher caloric value than field corn, and the deer can put on fat much quicker from acorns, believe it or not, than they can from field corn. So I nicknamed this spot Doughtopia 2 years ago, with good reason. Out of 107 pictures, this is the only buck that I got on camera. So there's a lot that goes on in the canopy of the oak trees that's way above what we can see. But when you get in the woods, don't overlook the oak trees. Certainly try and, get an understanding of where the oak trees, the white oak trees are for sure. or the red oak trees. And I always try to pay particular attention to, how many acorns are, up in the canopy, what kind of year we're going to have. There's a lot of information. I could probably do a separate video in itself just on the ecosystems within this oak tree itself. So don't overlook the oak trees. Just kind of some interesting facts there about oak trees. If you'd like to learn more, there's a ton of information online. I've only, scraped the tip of the iceberg here as far as oak trees and how essential they are to our forests here in the driftless area, and the animals here that we love and enjoy. Well guys, that's pretty much a wrap for the day. It's been a great day. My grandson and Ben and I, we went out, we pulled all the cards on the shotgun cams, and now I'm just out finishing out the evening, getting some glass on some deer out here. Got a couple little bucks out here and a couple little does, but I enjoy. It's my favorite part of scouting. It's just getting some glass on these deer. It's very relaxing for me. Can cover a lot of ground quick when they're out feeding, so you can see a lot of deer quick. And and it's great entertainment. It's just a great way, relaxing way to spend some time out, in nature. But get out in the woods, get out and do some scouting in your hunting area, and keep an eye open for especially the white oak trees. All the oak trees a deer love, but the white oak trees are what they're going to be looking for. They're going to be dropping those acorns about the end of August, beginning of September, which lines up with most states' archery season opener. So, those deer are going to be in those white oak groves eating acorns. So it might be a good chance, to get the drop on a deer for you. Just kind of keep that in mind. And as always, stay tuned for more driftless ventures.